witness exciting battles between the fish and birds by the riverside. So today I have also invited a local official with me. Please say hi to everyone. Hello everyone. So Madam De, you're an old friend of our program. Last year you have also accompanied our visit here, and you have demonstrated the beautiful scenery of the Shenzhen Bay. And this year we have selected another site which is located by the Buha River. And this place has a very special position. Could you please give us more introduction? Sure. Buha River has a total length of 286 kilometers. Every year in spring, the Qinghai Lake naked carp would make a migration upstream into the Buha River. And we all know that the Qinghai Lake is the largest saltwater lake in China. So considering the salinity level in the Qinghai Lake, these naked carps would choose to go back to the fresh water to spawn. And another important indicator or parameter is humidity as well as the temperature. So considering all those elements, finally the Qinghai Lake naked carp would every year travel from the Qinghai Lake to the inflowing rivers to spawn. And it's by the island of birds that the Buha River has injected into the Qinghai Lake. And thanks to the inflowing river of Buha, we have maintained the water level at the Qinghai Lake. And it will also help to regulate the salinity level in the Qinghai Lake. Today we have also noticed many naked carp here by the riverbanks. Why is that? Because it's by the riverbanks we have slower currents and also higher water levels. It's more favorable condition for the migration of the carps. If it's too low temperature or it is much higher current, then it will become an obstacle for the migration of these naked carps. So sometimes when there are heavier and stronger currents, these naked carps, they will just make a pause, take a break here by the riverbanks. And when they're traveling upstream, they will encounter a lot of difficulties. Yes. For example, in the past, we have noticed that due to limited rainfall, sometimes these naked carps, they will round aground. They will have the stranding problem. And due to the limited precipitation, sometimes we can witness that the naked carps, they are suffering from the stranding problem. And this Buha River has been considered as a vital passage for the migration of the Qinghai Lake naked carp. And for the keepers, they are taking a very challenging job. Every day they have to walk a long distance in order to help those naked carps to move upstream without too much difficulty. In the meantime, there are also natural enemies to the naked carps. That is the flying birds in the sky. And you can know that there is a strategy adopted by the naked carp in order to fight back to the possible attacks from the birds flying in the sky. They will swim very fast. So they have their own tactics during this journey of migration. Usually the male ones would take the lead to guide the whole fleet of naked carps. And they will be the pioneers to take the lead and guide the whole family, the whole group of naked carps during their upstream migration journey. And this is also a kind of strategy to protect themselves against the attacks of the birds. For the male fish, they will make some waves. Sometimes they will also fly above the water and make a jump. So now we know it's no easy job for the naked carps to make their migration journey. For example, when there is the limited precipitation problem, when there are natural enemies attacking, and these will cause different troubles for them, like the stranding. And for these groups of naked carps, they are very familiar with this vital passage for migration. And for the spawning sites, these carps will choose somewhere that has a slower current, and also usually it's located on a sandy gravel bank, and the water quality is very clear, it's very high level, and very quickly they will have the mating, and then the spawns will be sent out into the water. For example, here could be considered as a wonderful site for the spawning. Usually they will not be stopping here, they will continue with their migration journey. And also for the naked carps, they have to be vigilant against their natural enemies, the birds in the sky, and they also have to take a battle against the natural conditions. And they also have to protect the spawns. For example, the birds flying in the sky may be interested in eating up all the spawns. And sometimes they also have to take into consideration the rising of the tides. We know that here the birth rate is less than 2 against 1,000 for the naked carps. And it's also the level 2 protected animals. We have the legislations and laws to protect them. Every year, we also carry out regular patrols in collaboration with the other authorities. On a daily basis, we have the Animal Protection Station. This is a natural preservation station. They can assist the artificial spawning of these fish. We are also doing the education programs. We are educating the people. We are spreading the information. So for people living in this area, they are fully aware of the importance of the protection of the fish. Whether they are stranded or when they are still in a journey of migration, people living in this area, they will voluntarily join the group of protection. Currently, the total volume of the naked carp has reached 157.5 thousand tons. And every year, the gain of weight is only 100 grams, 50 grams. And they also have difficulty in absorbing sufficient nutrition from the local environment. The fish here are also seized and eaten up by the birds here. So the birds would take the fish as the food, and then the feces of the birds will then again become the food for the fish. So this is like a natural cycle. Yesterday during my interview, I've noticed Another protected animal is the black neck cranes here. And there is another bird that is called the cormorant. The cormorants, they are like the special forces. They're able to go into the water and find the fish to eat. And usually they will grasp the larger sizes of the naked carps because they themselves, they are, first of all, very good swimmers, and second, they are very large in size, so they prefer to eat a lot, and they will prefer to catch, first of all, large sizes of the naked carps. And then for the brown-headed gulls, they will just make a dive in the air and then try to catch the smaller sizes of naked carps. Usually those naked carps floating on the surface of the water would be caught by those brown-headed gulls. And sometimes we can also find the dead bodies of the naked carps. And when we look at closely the dead bodies of the naked carps, only the eye part has been eaten. So who did that? It's actually the cormorants. They prefer to eat the eye parts of the naked carps. It's easier for the birds to get nutrition and also to consume the eye parts of the fish. In order to protect the local environment, in August 2017, we have closed up this whole area because we would like to give back this paradise of nature back to the animals. In recent years, we have noticed a lot more visitors, for example, the black-necked cranes, other migratory birds, etc. So this is also a wonderful island for the settlement, temporary settlement of the migrate birds. Currently, on the yearly basis, we could accommodate more than 280 different species of birds here. That is a wonderful achievement. It's hard for us to imagine such a great diversity of birds traveling around in the Qinghai Lake area. And you could also come to this region to witness the breeding process of the birds. You have this island of birds, it's under protection, and you have closed it up, so no intruders would be allowed into this area. This has facilitated the survival as well as the reproduction and breeding of these birds. We also have a protection engineering project. In 2023, we have managed the river canals, the river basin project. For example, we have taken measures to fight against the flooding problem and also the consolidation of the river banks. And we have also noticed a lot of barriers for the consideration of the protection, because we would like to form a natural tunnel for the guiding of the flooding river. There is also increasing vegetation. We are also managing the seaweed and also the grass. In the meantime, we are also carrying out actions for the restoration of the wetland. We are growing the seaweed, and also the other vegetation that could be adapted to the high salinity in the soil. After the management measures, as you can see, the environment has been restored. You can see a much better performance with the natural wetlands and the grassland, etc. This is also to offer better habitat for the fish as well as the birds. It's easier for the migration of the naked carp as well as the other species of the fish. And the seaweed, the grass, could also become a new option for the food for the birds. Wherever there's good temperature and good natural reserve, you can find a larger group of animals. And where you can find the fish, where you can find more birds, because the fish is major food source for the birds. And that is why this place has attracted so many visitors, tourists to the Qinghai Lake area. So for the future visitors, could you please make a recommendation where they could enjoy this beautiful scenery and also with the migration of the naked carp and also the flying birds? Currently, for our area, we are building up the scenery sites. If you make the departure from the capital city scene of the Qinghai region, then you could come to this area. And then we can visit the home site of the naked carp. And over there, you can find a vital passage for the migration of the Qinghai Lake naked carp. And there is also the artificial breeding of the fish, and then after getting to a certain age of the fish, they will be released back into the water. When I took the bus on my trip here, I passed by some very beautiful cabins and also a very big platform on which you could admire the whole picture of this area. We have a site of touristic experience. It's on a higher spot. And when you stand on that spot for the sightseeing, you would be amazed by the beautiful scenery of the Qinghai Lake. And here, because it's an ecological site, we can have some other visits and experiences. For example, here you can experience the Tibetan culture. For example, yesterday, the bicycle racing has been organized in this area, and you can also witness the beautiful flowering season of the rapeseed flowers, the plants. Yes, indeed. And the herders, they have also joined this racing. They are on their horse and they are carrying the red flags, as you can see from the footage now. Every year at the county of Gangcha, you can experience a lot of wonderful events, and you have this abundant resources for tourism. And nowadays, you're also preserving the natural places. And talking about ecological values, first of all, we have made a great effort to preserve the natural environment. For example, here, the naked carp is one of the major species living here, and based on that, we also have the natural food chain leading to the birds. And talking about the Qinghai Lake, which is located in the northern eastern part of the Qinghai region, and it's a very important natural habitat. It's also a very important natural barrier stopping the advancement of the desert from the northwestern part of China into inland parts. Here is also a wonderful genetic bank for the biodiversity. It's a natural environmental space. By the side, we also have very enriched ethnic groups' culture, so we can always combine the ethnic minority cultures with the natural charms like the ecological values. We can see natural wonders. That's why we like to make a call to everyone. You can come to visit this beautiful place, and meanwhile, don't forget to protect these natural habitats for the animals and creatures in nature. Because we have all these natural wonders, we have this colorful world. So, time is up. That is all for today's program. Thank you for staying with us. See you next time.